Do you love waking up early in the morning, struggling to figure out what to do with your hair? We've all had our share of bad hair days. Are you ready for a change? Lock it and love it with Lock and Love Salon, conveniently located at 8117 Liberty Road, Windsor Mills, Maryland. Start your lock journey today. Lock and Love's professional services and artistic designs will keep you blazing in the hottest trends while maintaining and protecting your hair. Honey, Lock and Love is an experience. Once you try Lock and Love Salon, you won't try anyone else. Lock and Love offers starter and maintenance locks, fox locks, detox, shampooing and conditioning, lock treatment, lock extension, coloring, and much more. Sorry, but Lock and Love doesn't accept walk-ins. What are you waiting for? Call 410-970-3791 to set up your appointment today. Lock and Love is on Facebook, so remember to like, follow, and share.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning. Good morning. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yes. How are you doing today?
Um, I'm fine. Uh,
Oh,
not
yes.
laughing. Uh,
Yeah. I think no.
oh,
I think so.
but no, I'm trying to hang in there, girl. I'm hanging in there.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, y'all.
Are we live? We live?
I believe so. I think so.
Oh, good morning. I'm sorry. Yes, sorry. Happy St. Patrick's Day,
Happy
everyone.
St. Patrick's
Good
Day.
morning. I'm glad that you all was able to log on, the ones that were able to log on. I really appreciate you all taking your time out, coming on today with Purposeful Talks with Tabitha and Tameka about
Yes.
episode number 2.
Yes.
Uh, good morning. Want to say happy birthday to my son, Fats. He is
Yes.
14 years old. Today's my brother-in-law's birthday and everybody's birthday today. It's just a great day. So y'all be sure to get y'all corned beef sandwich and some cabbage. And yeah, we're going to have a good day today.
Corned beef and cabbage. Yes.
All
That's
right.
a tradition that's been going forever, corned beef and cabbage.
Yeah, I mean, hey, everybody a little luck today. So today on
Healing, growing, and
episode 2
becoming.
is about healing out loud. Um, we are season 1 is about healing, growth, and becoming. So today's episode is about healing out loud. And Tameka, I'll let you take it from here. You can go ahead and start.
um, what that looks like for me, is it's still grieving being a mother, trying to heal, being there for the kids and everybody else. But what I did learn is that if I'm not there for myself, I can't be there for nobody else. So that's what I'm definitely learning during this season, because before I was making sure everybody else was okay and I wasn't okay.
Good, right. That's pretty understandable. So today is about breaking silence around emotional wounds. And why do we hide our pain?
Mm,
Is the start of today's question. Um, Healing, breaking silence around our emotional wounds and why people hide their pain. Well, for me, I can't speak for nobody else. I just speak for me. I
mm-hmm,
think for me, why I hide the pain, because to so many people, a lot of people just depends on me and not depend on
mm-hmm,
me like financially or to do things. Just my family and everybody, just to have a good time, to show up when I'm supposed to show
mm-hmm,
up. They know that I'm gonna be there, when they need me, and I've
mm-hmm,
heard this what is this title that
that
I'm just
you're
saying
not
everybody,
supposed to be
it
broken. You got a
depends on
cape
me.
on your back. Yeah.
Yeah. So with me, I try to hide my pain because I don't want to look weak. I try to hide my pain because I don't want nobody to see me when I'm in pain because
Mm,
I feel like it's personal and intimate. Uh, I'm embarrassed sometimes about the pain
mm,
that I'm going through, even though I know I don't have any reason to be embarrassed, and even though I know what I'm going through isn't my fault or have anything to do with me, I'm still am embarrassed because I still had to take this road.
mm,
And with this happening, with so much have changed for me over the last 5 years, dealing with grief and just healing. Um, I think the pain for me is that wait a minute, I took the word out. The pain for me is that it's just too much. So you try
mm,
to hide it because you don't want people to label you off of your pain. People can see you in pain and label you
mm,
and call you all types of names. You mean, you evil, selfish. You don't want to be bothered, and people, different things. So with me, I tend to hide my pain because I still grieve who I used to be. And who I
mm,
used to be, I will be showing up. I'm on time. You can depend on me. I'm there when you
mm.
need me. Where the last 5 years, I can no longer do that and not that
Right.
way. And so I tries to, hide the pain because it do hurts me, yet and still embracing this new journey, knowing that I no longer
Mm,
can be what I used to be for people. I can't show up for people. I'm no longer apologetic. No, I can't. I cannot come in when I'm in silence. I don't apologize for the pain anymore. Um, and that's just my thing about, hiding behind my pain because of titles, and I don't want to be labeled and people label me off of my pain.
I feel like we are similar because everybody look at it like you the strong one. So what do you mean you can't focus today? Or what do you mean you can't get up today? Or what do you mean that today you can't be there for me? But what they don't realize is the strong ones need people too. They need help too. They need love too. That's why I said I learned this season that I can't pour out of an empty cup. Of course, people used to say it all the time, Tameka, you need to get yourself together. You can't pour out of an empty cup. And I'm like, what is y'all talking about? Like my cup not empty, it's full. But I noticed that now that I'm able to see it, I notice, what they're saying far as pouring from an empty cup.
Yeah, the strong ones, and I definitely believe, hide behind the pain. But sometimes I think that our pride is in the way, and
Mm-hmm.
when we hide behind the pain, we don't want to ask for help. Sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
we not. It's just a pride thing where you don't really want to
Mm-hmm.
bother people. With me, I know other people are going through what they going through in life too, and I just don't
You don't want to be a
want to
bother, right?
be
Yeah.
another bird and be yet,
Mm-hmm.
because they thinking that you're the strong one, but Lord knows the strong one needs somebody to check on them too all the
All
time.
the time.
Only if you
All the
knew how
time.
bad behind closed door the strong one wasn't strong. If you seen the
Mm-hmm.
tears, the pain, the fatigue, the brain fog, not wanting to get up, not wanting to do
Yeah.
this, just thinking about reality. Period. Like your strong ones need check
Yeah.
into. And that's one thing I do believe that it's definitely a must that you check on your strong people. Definitely, I
Yeah.
don't care how strong they is, how much they carry it, how much dependable they are, how much you got to check on
How
people
they
because
don't want it.
everybody is
It
going
don't
through something
matter.
this day and time all around the
Right.
world. So
Yeah, it's definitely like you said, for me, like if I'm going through something, but I remember therapist saying like asked me like do I cry in front of my kids? And I told her no, because I thought, crying in front of my kids it wasn't, the right thing to do. And she was like, it's okay to, cry in front of people. That shows like you're grieving and stuff like that. And for a while I never, like, if I ever like cried, but now it don't matter. It don't matter where I am. If it hit, it hit, and I cry. And that's how I feel right now. So that's where I'm at in this place in my life. Like it don't matter where I'm at. If it hit, I'm crying. So, and I'm
yeah,
gonna let everybody know, like, I just need a minute. Before it was, I didn't tell nobody I needed a minute. I just would ghost people or, push people away because of everything that I've been through. And sometimes people don't know how to be there.
Mm-hmm.
They
That's true.
don't.
They
Yeah.
don't. I think sometimes people think they mean you well and think that they're doing a good
Mhm.
job. But I don't think that sometimes what people say doesn't mean you well. And
Mhm.
that's gonna bring me back to what you were just saying when we hide behind our pain. Do you cry in front of your kids and your family?
Mhm.
I try not to as much times as I can. Now I'm not gonna say they made it seem me like maybe a few times where I just could not hold it and broke down. And I don't like to do that in front of them because it literally breaks them. Uh,
Mhm.
I try not. Sometimes I can try to hold it, and I try to wait till they're away. Most time in the shower is where I'm crying because
Yeah.
while the water rushing down, it's like the
Water.
rain
Yes.
washing away the pain.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
I step away. I try to take some time to myself. That means go sit in my car. If that means go to bed,
Mhm.
act like I have to use the bathroom. If that means to go down to the laundry room, act like I'm doing laundry, or just take
Mhm.
a minute. It you know, I don't try to cry from them. Now, one person I can say that caught me crying a lot out of all my kids is my youngest child.
Mhm.
And that's my 4-year old because I
For
was
me
pregnant
too.
with her at the
Yeah.
time that I lost
Yeah.
Nah. And
Mhm.
when she sees me cry, tries not to, but she quotes me all the time, like, Mom, why are you crying? Stop crying. And I just be honest. Mommy's been so sissy right now. I'm
Mhm.
okay. It's just happy tears. And she's like, okay, I wish sissy could come down. And I'm like, yeah, I wish sissy could come down too. But she gives me that joy,
Yeah.
sometimes. But I don't like to cry in front of the kids because I don't think people realize how much grief weighs on kids just as much as they weigh on adults.
Yeah.
And this is just being a therapist in a behavioral health counselor working with children in the behavioral health field because kids go through a lot of trauma too.
Mhm.
And so imagine everything that we're going through, and you know what we're going through. Imagine the kids going through that double that. Only
Yeah.
because them being kids that they don't have any outlet. You get what I mean? They
Yeah.
can't get in their car and
Yeah. They
drive
don't.
off. They can't go over here. They want to go out and have it, with their friends to take a drink. They can't
Mhm.
have these outlets that the adults can. So they are really like stuck. So when they are just
Yeah.
stuck, it weighs on them even more.
Yeah.
Where
Because they
they have
don't
no
know how to
outlet
say
to where they can
anything. They
really. I
hold.
try not to really
Yeah.
cry in front of my kids. I let them know like I'm just having a moment right now. I need a minute, and they know they seem to know when I am having a moment. Like today is my son's birthday, and tomorrow is my birthday, and she would have been 20. And
Yeah.
so it is hurtful and heavy for me with this time. And it would have been heavy the last couple of days because I'm used to
Mhm.
celebrating them both together in my household where we having parties all week. One day,
Right.
this day, and it's not like that anymore. So I had to really like try to push myself to do things that I really don't want to do because only any other time, I would not showed up. I would have stayed in the bed and I would have
Mhm.
cried and let it take over me. Where today, I'm just actually grateful to be in the spirit that I am today. Yes, I am broken in the outside, inside, but people don't see that on the outside. But yet, I'm in the place today where I'm able to get on, log on, communicate, smile despite the pain, decorate for my son when I haven't done it for him the last 4 years. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So I
Yeah.
am just grateful for the small things, and yet I'm still becoming, but it's still heavy. And I try not to show what I'm going through on the kids because it's just a lot to bear for
Yeah. It
children.
definitely. It
And
definitely is.
I believe that, even with that, people, like you say, check on your strong people, and people done that. Just like my cousin last night, she said, it made me cry, but I was happy at the same time because when she got on, she sent me a picture of Janai first day of school, which was her 8th grade year, which her last year ever in school again. Because when she was getting
Mhm.
ready to attend 10th grade school year to finally go back after the pandemic, her funeral was 2 days before school started. We never made it to 10th grade. And
Right.
so when she sent me this picture of her, it broke me down. I mean, because I'd never seen this picture. It was just so beautiful, her, and it was just her.
Mhm.
And when she said, I didn't know if I was going to trigger you sending this, but I took a long time sending you this because I remember asking my cousins and them for birthday pictures back to school. And I was so grateful. Like, I'm so glad that you sent this to me. Like,
Yeah.
yes, it made me cry, but I'm not
Yeah.
sad. I'm happy
Mhm.
that you sent this to me because I didn't have
Right.
this picture, and this is a part of my memory. And she
Yeah.
was like, I didn't know that, but she, she meant well. And I do think sometimes people
Yeah.
do mean well, and I think that sometimes people don't know how to address you on certain
Right.
things. And so, they may say things that they may mean and may come out different ways, but I just try to count it all joy. I
Yeah.
try to not look too far and it take too much personal.
Yeah.
Sometimes people just don't know.
They
Sometimes
don't.
people just don't have a clue. But then you have sometimes that people that could be ignorant. So
Yeah.
it's definitely a balance between the two. Where people that
Yeah.
mean well and they don't really know how to come off on you, but yet they try. But then you have some people who just ignorant. Oh, you still grieving after 4 years? Why you
Right.
still sad? That part about to make me go to thousand.
Yeah.
Don't come to me
Yeah.
talk about you still grieving because now there's a problem. So I try to
Right.
get myself away from people from that way because I think sometimes people just have no idea until it hit them on their doorstep. and,
Yeah.
and,
And we
and
talked about this last week too, about people walking around on, I feel like people walk around on eggshells around me. And that's my cousin, like she basically a picture person. And she had asked me if I was okay. She always will call and be like, "You okay? I just wanted to send you something." And I'll be like, "Yeah." And I appreciate her calling, because sometimes people just think, "Oh, I don't want to send it because she might be having a bad day." Just ask. You know what I'm saying? Just ask. So she had sent the picture of Sean was killed, and a week later was his birthday.
okay,
So we had a balloon release on his birthday, and I didn't have a video of that. So she had sent that to me this year, and she was like, you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm okay. I said, I'm happy that you sent it because I didn't have this. So
right.
it is like people out there do have videos and pictures and stuff like that, but they kind of sort of nervous about sending it because they don't know how you're feeling. But instead of them asking, they just, they assume it, so they won't send it. But I appreciate all of the pictures, all of the videos that people have that I don't have, because I know it's a lot of pictures and videos and stuff like that out there. And so, like, I really honestly appreciate that because I didn't never have it. So to watch it and to see it and see how much love people had for Sean, I really honestly appreciate it.
Yeah. I mean, I am grateful for the people that God had put in my life after this, even some, different paths. Whether, it's not let me say it's not personal. Where sometimes you cross paths with people and I think like with people there for seasons and reasons and for only certain purposes. I don't think sometimes
Hmm.
people are there meant to stay or meant to do. Sometimes you just need that person to actually bring
Yeah,
you through to just get you on a platform to start healing out loud. You get what I mean? And I am
yeah,
grateful for the people that I have ran into once this happened, and that goes to, you know, um, different groups that just I really wasn't part too many groups. Now I don't think we about the same groups. Flowers from Heaven, redirecting our culture for Crystal, um, and just certain things that they did put in our earth life at that time, and
hmm,
this time, just to have different aspects of leadership. But it's just that we needed them people, but not them people. We needed them, not say excuse
at
me,
that time. Yeah,
we needed our fellow grieving mothers to help pull us through because some of us just on different levels. Everybody can't be
yeah,
perfect at one time. I used to beat myself up sometimes like I wasn't doing enough. When I seen people doing everything, doing this and doing that, and you had to get out of that. But I am grateful for the things that we learned along the way in the beginning from our other, grieving mothers, superiors. Even with, just them keeping our kids name alive. Crystal, I mean, every time you see her, she have the pictures of the kids everywhere. I mean, wherever she at, Crystal everywhere. Kids everywhere. You see more Netflix. I see more. I mean, they made it to Netflix, y'all. I mean, thanks God to
yes,
that. And that was to happen. She put pictures up every Monday for stuff like that. And so these are basically the two people that I know most that, since we came from this thing and since we became grieving moms and said that we had to meet people this way. But I do believe that, just count it all joy. Everything you can't take personal. Yeah, man. We just healing. We trying to healing out loud. And so
yeah.
the next segment is, um, can you love properly if you're unhealed?
I don't think so.
Love properly if you're unhealed.
I don't think so. I don't think so. And like I said, I'm learning that now because a lot of stuff that I thought that was resolved in my head is not. So a lot of different things trigger me, and I'm learning my triggers, and that's the best part about that. Like I think it was maybe like last year, I was driving downtown and I heard a whole bunch of dirt bikes, and I was just like, oh my God, I hope that they do not, please don't, because they down Light Street is so tight. And I'm like, please don't let no. And next thing I know, somebody ran into the back of my car, and he was hurt. He got hurt, but that wasn't my fault. That was on him. But I thought that I was okay, with dirt bikes or whatever, because you hear it every now and again. And maybe 2 weeks ago, I walked to the store and it was a whole group of dirt bikes outside. And I found myself like having a panic attack. And I was like, oh my goodness, like I'm talking to myself, trying to calm myself down. But I thought that I was okay with the fact that, he hit the car, what, like I thought I was okay. But then just to hear the dirt bikes and to see them up close and personal, it triggered me.
Mhm.
And I talked to my therapist and I was like, I don't really understand. I wasn't hurt by him hitting the back of the car, but just him hitting it, I guess like, it made me think about some things. And I was like, oh my goodness. When I say I was like trying to calm myself down, I was like, talking to myself, trying to get myself together. But a lot of things that you don't think that you have buried in the back of your head, just one thing, one smell, one touch, one thing you hear, like that thing bring up memories that you thought that you took care of.
Mhm. That's true. Oh man, yes, girl. Yeah,
Yeah,
so many daily.
right.
I can go on.
Yeah,
Let's go on. Smells, clothes, everything.
yes.
Um, when it comes to me about the question, can you love properly if you're unhealed? I don't think so either. I do agree with you. Um, Here I am coming up on 5 years in August since I lost 9. Before any of this, no, I couldn't. I couldn't love people because I was just unhealed. I mean, I was
Mhm.
actually battling something that I never battled ever in my life. You understand what I'm saying? When I
Mhm.
say that I was broken and that this aspect of grief, and people grieve all different type of things. It don't just have to be losing
Mhm.
somebody, it could be your job, all types of, a hobby that you like. I mean, people, lose grief when health goes declines, all types of things. But with this grief that I was going through, I couldn't. I was broken into pieces. I mean, I seen the good, bad, and the ugly in myself. I seen things I ain't never seen me that I thought I would never knew I had. If you could ask the walls in the house, they'd tell you, "Oh Lord, you'd be surprised." No, for real. And I don't believe that you can love properly because I think that when you're unhealed, sometimes we seem to we tend to see things differently, and we got to realize that we're seeing them unhealed. So it makes your
Mhm.
reaction different. You get what I mean?
Mhm.
And so your reaction is different, and it's not really the genuine, real you. It's the hurt that's actually coming out of you. You get what I mean? And so therefore, you cannot uh, heal properly. And I have learned that probably it probably took me about 3 years ago. When I was, going through my grief aspects, trying to probably like I don't know, 2023, 22, now I passed away 21. And I had a really hard time with my sister-in-law. Not
Mhm.
that, I don't think she meant no well. I mean, meant no harm. I don't know. But at that time, I was just in a different part of my life. You get what I mean? Um, she used to be a trigger for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
She did. Certain things she did to me was a trigger to me. Did she realize it at the time? No. But finally, when I was able to have that talk with her and sit down with her, she finally was able to understand where I was coming from. As we finally addressed some things about what she was doing and what I was doing, and we both were, wrong. She would do things,
Mhm.
but by me not being unhealed and by me being broken at that time, I was lashing out. my reaction
Yeah.
was bad. You know, I didn't really see it that much, and not saying that it was my fault. I just couldn't hold my composure like I normally could do, and so I was
Mm-hmm.
unhealed. So it was really like a really bad relationship at that time. I mean, you know, really tough. But then I had to come to the point where, you know, it came to the point where my fiance had to sit me down and say, listen, hey, I understand that you got everything that's going on. I know this, I'm sorry that it's going to you. I mean, he pulling it out, sitting me down, talking to me. He like, but I do think it's okay. I think you need to, you know, try to speak with someone. I see that a lot, you got so much anger. Now, and I know you're not wrong. And I know what people are doing is triggers. And I don't know what people are doing to you right now because they're labeling you off your pain. Because at that time, people were labeling me off my pain. I didn't want to be bothered. If I sit around quiet, oh, she got an attitude. No, that's not it. And at that time, that would get me mad. I'm quiet because I want to
Mm-hmm.
be. You don't have no idea what the hell I'm going through right now. I'm about to bust open. I'm about to bust. I'm telling you, like, please just stop. You don't have no idea. I'm trying. So I really couldn't love the way I wanted to, who I normally was to love. So I had to keep like trying
Mm-hmm.
to free myself. This is not me. This is not me. People keep trying to label me. I'm not this person. I
Mm-hmm.
ask anybody that knew me before that they'll tell you this not Tabitha. Tabitha would never do that.
Right.
But Tabitha was actually doing it. I was letting you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you name it, listen, I was doing it. So with him just having that talk with me, really what led me on the aspect of really sitting down and trying to heal and navigate what I was going through with so much going on. I mean, I was pregnant at the time. I had with my baby. I was pregnant, 8 months pregnant when I lost my daughter. I went from actually giving the baby back to God to actually him giving me another baby. Mercy said, I mean, it was too much going on. I had no time to actually sit down to understand what the hell I was going through so fast. It just happened so fast. And so it was like I had a lot to go through. Not only that, you know, I had so much to battle, so much to battle, you know, within me. I had just a
Mm-hmm.
dark cloud on me, and it was just I had to sit down in quietness. But I'm glad that he had that talk with me because I was able to get on the right track platform. I was able to realize things and start getting back into, you know, faith. Because after a while, I lost it for a second. I didn't know if I was going to come in. And so I'm glad he did, and that gave me an aspect to start trying to get on the aspect of getting to where I am today. Because it wasn't like this
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago. I'm telling you right now,
Right.
me and my sister-in-law
Oh,
have a better relationship this day, and we both
that's
Virgos.
good.
That's what's funny. She a Virgo too, you know. So I do love her. So now I can actually love her properly, right? Because I wouldn't love her properly at first because I was going through so much. Not what I wanted to do, just my situation
Mm-hmm.
just presented it that way. But
Yeah.
I have a better way. I actually took some classes where I did a class with a one-on-one at this time with Crystal Gonzalez with redirecting my culture, and I think it was called Survivor.
Yeah. I
Survivor.
think it's
So
the
I can't remember the
survival
name, but
something.
listen, I'm glad that I
Right.
actually this is one thing that I was actually able to take serious because this was the one time and this is that I actually took it serious where I actually sat down one on one with somebody and actually let somebody else try to pull into me and teach me off of the same pain that we both have with losing kids. I think that we just
Mm-hmm.
the ones that lost girls, but we all
Yeah.
lost children. But to have somebody else in their own pain to actually sit me down at this one time and have this week-long segment, Al was talking intimacy, vulnerable, you know, all the stuff that actually helped me to really start the guide to trying to heal, see things, trying to push through certain things, and it led me to you. And I finally
Mm-hmm.
met you when we all had a appointment together. And it ain't been nothing but blessings since then. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I'm blessed for you. I'm blessed to go across paths with me with you. I don't
Yeah.
know what I would do without you. I mean,
Yeah.
you lift me up every day. When I know he can't lift up, I can go without texting you back for days, girl. You will not stop texting me. Tab, I know you're going through something. This before though. I'm getting better now, way better than I was. But
Yeah.
this was before. Like we still, even with you, I know when you don't text like, hey, I know, hey, I'm just want to say I love you. Have a good day. You know, keep pushing. You know, so you need that, but I'm just saying it
Yeah.
led me to a platform to actually get to where I am today. And I'm glad to have crossed paths with so many people who to have got me here because I didn't do it by myself. First of all, God was the
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
But just
Absolutely.
people just crossing paths to have me here. Today I'm here, not only for me, but for you too. because we
Yeah.
both doing this together. We both pushing each other to do. We
Yeah.
both are have agony to some days when we don't want. I'm showing up,
Absolutely.
and just to show up
Absolutely.
today, I can finally love people properly. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Certain things that we would
Absolutely.
see that we would have an issue with, we don't even got no issue with it with anymore. We gonna count it all joy because we
Exactly.
love it properly. Okay, we not we.
Exactly. And
It's
so
not.
it's like
It's not. It's not
when you
easy.
learn
But
properly,
you
then you
learn,
know.
and we're
Yeah.
learning. It's like we learning ourselves, baby steps. We are relearning. We are regaining. I'm glad to smile today.
Yeah.
I really don't, I don't want to be away. I am just actually just blessed that I was able to be and able to have that talk with my fiance and just different aspects of path of what I went through,
Mm,
meet different people on this journey to help me to get to where I am today. Because I can't say that I've done it by myself because I didn't. It come
yeah.
with family, your friends, not even ones you don't know, strangers, just something you
Yeah.
might see on the internet and that little meme might just make you just, whoo, that's
Right.
that pastor little message, just get you. So I am actually blessed to be where I am today. And I'm actually able to properly love people the properly way today. So no,
Mm-hmm.
I do agree. You cannot love properly if you're unhealed. You have to
Yeah.
heal because when you're unhealed, you have so many wounds in you just open that you
And
don't even
it's
notice you got.
triggering.
And so,
It's
like, you're
triggering.
triggered. Anything's
Mm-hmm.
going to trigger, trick. I mean, anything was triggering me. I mean, don't even come in here. Listen, I'm not what I could. I'm different. Listen, man.
Yeah.
It was some bad
No,
days.
I
That's my
understand.
fiance. He gonna be able to tell you. He was sitting down. He was like, "Y'all ain't believe what I seen." I mean, go look. I didn't cuss them out. So I'm just. it's it's a lot, but I'm in a better place.
It's
My
definitely
kids,
a
my
lot.
family, my friends, with grieving mothers that I met along the way here. We all have something in common, and that's just losing children. I believe people are who they are out on the outside, but one thing that let us in common is just the kids that we have lost and becoming great mamas. And I would never want to wish that on a worse enemy, anybody. I don't even have enemies. I just wouldn't wish it on a parent. Losing a
Mm-hmm.
child is beyond, it's undescribable. I can't even describe the
Yeah.
pain of it, especially when somebody else took upon themselves in their own hand and took your child away from you. I think that is the
Right.
anger part in me. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
That what angers me, that somebody actually took upon themselves in their hand
Mhm.
and just took, did they want to just mess your life on up and say, here you go. So it's just like, it's different. But I do agree that we cannot properly love if you are unhealed at all. So I agree with that segment there. And one day
Yeah.
at a time, 1 second at a time. And
That's
we
all we
still
can do
learning.
is one day
And
at a
some days
time.
we
Yeah.
need a minute. We don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be bothered some days. Some days it be just too heavy for me, and I'm gonna just take a break. I'd rather just go ahead and text you. I don't really want to talk, but I'm doing better now with communicate with people, calling them back,
But that's
getting back
fine.
with nice,
It's a learned behavior. It's a learned behavior that we have to relearn ourselves because we learned that we had to be tough, we had to be strong, we couldn't break, we couldn't cry, all of that stuff. So after losing a child or losing a person or whatever, you had to relearn the way that you deal with people. And that's what I had to I got this thing where if somebody say something to me or they in my face and they asking a question and they want the answer right away, I'll think about what I say before I say it because for me, I know that words hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So and words can hurt you worse than somebody hitting you. Like
Mm-hmm.
literally they can.
Yeah.
And so when you know yourself, you know that, okay, I'm going to stop. I'm going to think about what I got to say before I say it because I don't want to hurt you. And people don't understand that. And I understand that words hurt because words were said to me for a long time that I had to unlearn and not realize that they was only hurt. That's why they said it. And a lot of times people don't know hurt people hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of me hurting people, I want not to be a part of that. So that's why I watch what I listen and then I say it. I watch what I say before I say it.
Yeah. I hate to, yeah, you definitely agree with the learned behavior because when so much have changed for me in my life, and I had so many, I mean, of course, life, we have been through so many tragedies, just different things that we lost. Just being a mother, period. It's a lot. I do believe that it's learned behavior because the last couple of years, what happened to me, it put me in silence. I don't know why everything just got so quiet around me, but I wanted to be just quiet. I wanted everything around me quiet. I could not take noise. I don't want to talk. I don't know how to open my mouth to communicate. Send me a text. I love it. I might can't reply back right now, but it was a learned behavior to sit still in quietness. I needed that at that time, and I needed it for as long that at the time that it happened. I had to unlearn it because I sat in it so long that one day I actually went out. This is probably about last year, the end of last year, and when I finally went to go visit my mother-in-law, I mean, no, my mother-in-law, my kids' grandmother, my kids' grandmother, and I went to go visit her, and it kind of broke me because it like made me realize I lost out on so much. Well, I didn't really lose out on anything. It's just that I've been away for 4.5 years. I haven't been to
Yeah.
no outings. People can invite
Mm-hmm.
me to things. It's not that I don't want to come. Y'all don't understand. By the time I can even get my clothes and I'm crying, I seen something that made me feel bad and I can't make it out the door. I think about I can't do it. I just want to be home, away. I feel like I'm safe, quiet, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to be around people. And so I
Yeah.
do believe that it is learned behavior and some behaviors that we just have to try to unlearn, and we're trying to unlearn. I'm still trying to unlearn how not to sit in quiet. Because listen, I love quiet. I'd rather be quiet all day. All right, for
Yes.
real. But I
Yes.
can't sit there sometimes, and I'm able to get on. And then sometimes when you sit there too long, you start having idle thoughts. Your thoughts start
Mm-hmm.
putting all these negative thoughts on you. You start saying things that you think that taking it personal. It starts
Yes.
to play on you, and so you got to
Yes.
get up and move around where you got to try to redirect your thoughts. Got to start,
Yes.
praying, asking God to help you with your mindset, take over your mind, so your
Yes.
quiet your mind so your soul can speak, because you got it's too much that's going on, and you hear words of what you hear people say. Oh, you still grieving? Oh, she just evil. Oh, she just selfish.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she just quiet. She just ain't gonna, so that people say so many things
Yeah.
about you that you have to try to, unlearn the behavior that's not you. Because after a while, it start to sit in
Yeah.
with you that it is you. Because at one point,
It
I
did.
thought
It definitely
am I the
will.
problem? Am I really nasty and mean?
Yeah.
Because what somebody keep doing to me and they triggering
Right.
me, am I really the issue? Yes, I am the issue. I had to get to the point
Yeah.
I am the problem. Why am I the
I
problem?
am.
Because
I
you keep letting
am.
them get you out your curve, then you keep
Yeah.
breaking. So you the problem, baby. It's time to do some healing because you're gonna wind up over here, and I don't look good at
Yeah.
once. You know what I mean? I don't want to be nobody else's me. So that's why I'm saying
Yeah.
I am the problem. And so I had to
I
get to the
am.
point because it gets to the point where you had to really know, are you the problem? Not
Right.
mean you're the problem, the person that's causing the problem
Right.
and it triggers the people. But what
Right.
people are doing to
You
you and
are
what they're saying to
allowing,
you
right. You
and how
are
they
allowing
addressing you
them.
and how you
Yeah.
reacting, how you taking it and everything so personal, you are the problem. Because
Yeah.
we shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
We
That's why
shouldn't.
I was like, wow, like I sit back and like I think of all the accomplishments that I made since Sean was killed. And like I said, for the first 2 years I didn't do anything. I got up in the morning, got in the shower. I tried to get the kids to school. They didn't want to go. The two younger ones, because Dylan was only 4 when Sean got killed. So he was the one, waking up in the middle of the night, wiping my tears, telling me I would be okay, because that's when I would cry. When everybody was asleep, I was crying, and he was sleeping with me at the time. And they didn't want to go. They had separation anxiety, and I didn't make them go. So they did homeschool. But like I said, for the first 2 years, I didn't want to do nothing. I started seeing a therapist, and she told me, she said, if you make it upstairs and sit on the couch, that's a good thing for today. And I'd be like, okay. So after a while, I get in the shower, put my clothes on, and I go sit upstairs. And she'd be like, hey, you made it upstairs. And I'm like, yeah. Then she'd be like, hey, you made it on the back porch where we used to live at. We had a nice big back porch. And I would sit out there, and the red cardinals used to come and all that stuff. And I'd be like, wow, like I used to just love just sitting like at peace in like wherever, like at the water or sitting like in the yard or all that. Like I love that. So, but like I said, for 2 years I didn't do anything, and then after that I picked up and I just like started running, never looked back. And that's why I was saying, if my take for talking to a grieving mom would be anything, it'd be try to start sooner than later, far as your healing journey.
Yes,
Only
yes.
because like I said, for 2 years I did nothing. Then I got up, started running, started going back to work. I would cry in the morning, like you say, cry in the morning when I'm getting ready for work, cry at work, go, but I made it through. But like I said, at the end of the day, my take for a grieving mom or a grieving person, period, would be start sooner than later, because
Yes.
right now I'm dealing with psychosomatic pain. And so anytime that I'm triggered or something like that, I'm like my body is in so
Sure.
much pain.
The body.
And so it's just like, for real, like I honestly can say, like, please, like, if that's a word, like my daughter is dealing with grief right now. Her boyfriend passed away. It'll be 2 months this month. And she's
I'm
grieving
I'm
a
sorry.
lot. Like she's grieving a lot. And it's sad for me because I'm still grieving. I'm still trying to figure it out, still trying to be a mom, but I don't know what to do for her. But the only thing that I said to her was get a therapist, don't sit in it too long. Um that I don't sit in it too long. And that's not being mean, but that's just try to get, I'm not rushing her to heal, but I'm rushing her to get help so that she can heal.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing. And they got me, and again, my sympathy to you and your family. You had just lost your son-in-law, and it had to be a lot for you to be there for your daughter with you going through so much that you're going through and have to deal with this loss and have to help your daughter along the way too. Which is a blessing is that you're in this aspect where you're telling her we're not going to sit here this long. We're going to get some therapy and we're going to try to get on away from this, move, try to heal as much as possible. Because I don't think people really know the pain of a grievance. The pain, it hurts your body, it hurts your mind.
Yes.
I really wish it was something that they could compensate grieving mothers because
Yeah.
listen, sometimes you don't even want to be going to work.
I
I'm
can't
telling
even
you,
remember
I was
sometimes.
praying
Like I'm
somebody at that time to tell me don't sit and try to move and try to move. And I think my people were, but I just wasn't ready to accept it at that point.
yeah. I
I had
wasn't ready
before
either.
people would say, I had lost people would tell me all the time, and I think this would rub me the wrong way. Well, you lost a husband before, you already used to this. That
It's a
listen,
different hurt.
my, that make you ready. Not,
Yeah.
don't tell me that I
Yeah.
lost a husband and that you should understand the pain. It is two different pains. I
It
lost
is.
a child, not excuse me, and you have no idea what I'm going through. I'm not even going
Yeah.
through what I was going through when I lost him. Nowhere near what I'm going through. I am
Yeah.
broken. Okay,
Yeah.
pieces. I'm
Yeah.
telling you that. Like
To have
everything
somebody grow
that is a
inside of you for
totally different
nine
thing.
months for
And
you
so
to
to
take
have
care
people
of
to
them.
ask me
Yeah.
questions, I just wasn't ready to accept that at that point because
Yeah.
it was just a totally different type of
I
full blown.
understand. I told you it took me 7 years to sit and want to sit in my grief. It took me 7 years. So that's why I said for me talking to someone, I'm telling them, like, I mean, y'all can sit for however long y'all want to sit, and everybody is totally different. They are, but my experience is that it almost took me out.
Right.
And that's why, like, the name of my book, I was gonna name it How 7 Years of Grief Almost Killed Me. And that's the God honest truth. It 7 years almost killed me. I distanced myself from a lot of people. And I think now a lot of people feel like, oh, I don't want to be around because I don't know what might trigger. I don't know, if she might cry. Like, I don't know. Instead of them saying, if you cry, okay, if it's triggering, okay, let's do whatever we can do. People honestly don't know how to handle people that's grieving, that they never lost or experienced the grief. Now after that, during the pandemic, my grandfather and grandmother passed away a week apart.
Just took it right in my mouth.
Yeah, so they passed away a week apart. My grandfather died, and then a week later my grandmother died. And this was all during the pandemic. And then we had found out that Sean had end stage renal failure. And I didn't realize what they were saying. Actually, people was talking, but I wasn't realizing what they were saying until I read it on paper and I broke down. And so I'm still grieving Sean, then grieving the loss of my both of my grandparents a week apart. Then now trying to help Big Sean because they just said he had end stage renal failure, which means that he didn't have much long to live. And but by the grace of God that end of that year, because we found out that was the beginning of the year, the end of the year, um well, my son had went, my next to the oldest son had went and got tested. He was a match for Sean. So he donated his kidney to Sean, which he's still here, thank God. And it's been 5 years since it happened. And but then turn around and lose my aunt. It was just like, it was a lot. And it was just like I'm grieving all of this stuff. Now I'm grieving my aunt, but like through my eyes, it looks different. For Sean, I cry every day, every drop of the dime. Different stuff, different. Seeing him sometimes hearing his voice, I cry.
Mhm.
For my grandparents, it's just like I cried, and I that's it. And then like for my aunt, I cried. I was angry because she had caught COVID from work, and that's how she had long COVID, and then long COVID. That's how she had passed away. So it was just like wow, like it's the different ways that people pass away. It kind of sort of like my grandparents, they lived for a long time. So it was just like, they lived for a long time. They was here for a long time. I'm just grateful to have them for that long time. But then for Sean, it was just like he only lived for 22 years. Like I didn't even know, like, the world could be so much different with him in it. He had so many things that he wanted to do. He had a business that he was trying to start up. What if that business would have started? What if, that could have changed some young kids' lives? Because there's a lot of kids out here just, lost. A lot of kids are lost. And I think that's the reason why they're doing what they're doing. They don't have that outlet. They don't know who to talk to. And I know growing up, it was if you cry as a young man, then, that's considered as being a sissy. They don't know how to, get that outlet out. They don't know how to cry in front of people because they don't want to feel weak.
Mhm.
And that's the sad part about it. And I wish a lot of guys that got their head on straight kind of sort of would mentor these young men and let them know it's okay to cry. It's okay to have emotions. It's okay. You're not gonna look weak. You're showing your emotion. Everybody is born with emotions. Everybody is, whether you use them or you don't use them.
Right.
But I think that's the reason why a lot of things are going on.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I listen. I deal with the youth all the time. Behavioral health. Uh, name it. Youth, residential, youth care practitioner. I'm listening. I'm everywhere. Youth, they listen. It's a lot that youth go through.
Hmm.
Just it's the way of life, and sometimes they need their fault. It's the way that who taught them the way of life. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
it's a taught
Uh,
behavior.
I did. We had seen a question on here, and it was I think it from Crystal, and was asking what was the turning point for you. What was the turning point for me when I realized that was what do you call it? Hold up. It was a turning point for me when I realized, are you sure I'm saying it right? That circumstances doesn't change responsibility. It was a turning point
Mm,
for me when I realized I still had these kids to still carry. I was starting to lose my faith in a lot of things. And when I'm losing my faith, my kids are losing my faith. My home is different. There's no unity in it, at that time. That was my turning point because I knew then that I had to be strong. And I had to get back to my faith and my roots and what I believed in order for me to heal and for my family to get through. You get what I mean?
mm-hmm.
I went through it. My family is totally different now. I mean, my kids
Yeah.
are grown now. My oldest one, my daughter that was here, the next to my one, the oldest one, she moved to Florida by herself now. So A lot of things. Everything is different now, but it did at
Yeah.
that point. My son is grown. I just got two little young ones in home, but it's that I really had to realize that whatever I was going through in my circumstance, and I learned that just going through the one-on-one, and that's what really was my turning point. I'm not when I put my hand to God, I'm not gonna lie, there's no fabricating. Was when I had the one-on-one with Crystal at that time, she had the training, the streaming going on, the one-on-one sit down. And when she said that one part, I can remember me going back to her, retelling her that it cried because I kept thinking circumstances doesn't change responsibility. As much pain that we are going through, we are broken, we are not the same. It did not change our responsibility. Bills still had to get paid, kids had to eat, you still had to show up at work, or you ain't gonna lose. You gonna who else gonna help you? Because ain't nobody gonna show up. People ain't gonna show up. It was a lot that you had to learn. That circumstances doesn't change responsibility. We still had to put that cape on as mothers. At the end of the day, as strong women. At the end of the day, as a stronghold for your family. At the end of the day, and try to rebuild this unity back
Yes.
that was broken. So you had to still try to call yourself. That was a breaking point for me because I had to get back in my roots. I had to get back in
Yeah.
my faith was lacking. I had to get back to what I know that served me and get me through. I can't speak for nobody else. I can speak for
Yeah.
me and what I get through. And I know that holding on to God's unchanging hand, you better hold on to it. He ain't never failed me. I hold on
Yeah.
to it. I mean, of course, I became a widow at 26 years old. Left me with the four kids that I had, and then 10 years down the line, this happened right to my daughter. Her passing
Mm-hmm.
away. So the responsibility that I had, I still had to carry my family, and I refuse to let my family sink. I refuse to let anybody else take care of my family. Who's gonna take care of your family better than you? I had to try to get it together. I had to start healing from somewhere. I had to start doing something somewhere, and I knew that my daughter deserved so much better. This wasn't her mother. She know her mother is not this great person. She know her mother. Listen, standing, no, going to show up. My mother's going to know she's just. I could not just to honor her. It just
Mm-hmm.
didn't went out. So I had to try to heal, and that was my turning point to change. And the last
Yeah.
question before we get off here is saying, do you think therapy and faith can coexist?
I think so.
I think so
I
too.
think so. I think because, like I said, for me, I grew up in the church. Like my mother had us in church all the time, like all the time. But once I got older, like I was still going to church or whatever. When I started working like crazy because I knew I had stuff to do, responsibility. So I still believed in God, but I didn't go to church. But when Sean got killed, I lost my faith because I remember growing up in the church, it was just like, God will never leave you. God, it was saying that. And so I was like, well, God, why did you leave me? Like, it was a lot. Like, why did you leave me? Why did you take my son away from me knowing that I needed him? And that was the biggest thing. So that for 2 years, like it was just like I would sit in the dark in my room and I would listen to church music and I would just cry all day long. And I always would say I lost my faith, but in reality, I didn't. I never lost my faith because I always went back to the music. I always went back to, need and prayer and stuff like that. So it was just like I realized that I didn't lose my faith the whole time, but I did I was angry for a long time with God. Like, why did you take my son away and stuff like that? So then I started getting therapy. I started doing therapy and I started but then I realized that my therapist wasn't helping me with my grief. The one that I had, she was just like, okay, it felt like she would hold my hand with stuff. And I was like, I don't need that. I need somebody to be like, no, get up. And then I started seeing another therapist, and that's the one that told me, even if you go upstairs for 30 minutes, that's an accomplishment. Even
Mhm.
if you sit out back. And that's how I started making the waist beads because I started was like, you know what, I gotta get my mind back thinking. I started walking. I started doing a lot of things. But I never felt like now that I look back, I never felt like I sat down in my grief. And so I was walking, going around the lake. I was doing a lot of stuff, hosting parties. Like it was like, okay, I'm getting back to myself. But then, like I said, this seventh year is when I actually sat down and started unpacking a lot of different bags And when I unpacked a lot of bags, it was just like, I don't know. It was a lot. And it was like I started seeing a lot of things. I started sitting in like, wow, like, but I feel like everything happened for a reason.
Mm.
So if I wouldn't have sat down, imagine when I finally did sit down, what might have happened. And I think that therapy is a good thing. People probably don't think so. I think therapy is a good
Oh,
thing.
I think therapy and faith can coexist. But first of all, you
But
need
you
to
have to find the right therapist
you got to find. Oh yes, definitely got to find the right therapist.
and
But
the right church,
yeah,
because every
yeah,
church is not for everybody.
no. The church now, I don't know. I have my faith. I know what I believe in and what I was brought up on my foundation.
Hmm.
My, my parents, the foundation that they laid down. I know where. So that was where it comes from. It all about the foundation. But I do believe therapy and faith can coexist because you need
Hmm.
the faith of therapy.
Yeah.
The therapist can tell you a lot what to do and whatever, but you need that faith because God is the first say so about what to do. You got to take it to Him first, not the therapist first, but you got to take it to Him first in prayer. I do believe that with wholeheartedly for what I believe, and that
Hmm.
with the faith, it can coexist because that'll give you what you need and to get to the therapy aspect. And then once you get to the therapy aspect, that two runs together. So therefore you have your faith and your therapy together, and therefore they can coexist, which can be help one another. Because what you learn in therapy, you bring back to the Lord and you pray about it and you asking Him for healing about what you want. You're asking what you want. Like He said, you shall ask and you shall receive. And I do believe that. So I do believe that therapy and faith can coexist because you need God first in order to get the therapy. And then you
Hmm.
need to, bring it, but you get in therapy, bring it back to the Lord in prayer and try to, get in your Bible and put stuff together in order to become healed. So yes, it can be a coexist. I definitely believe in, so much, definitely just coexist. When it comes to church, I'm not gonna lie, I don't have a church home right now at this moment. I did before the pandemic came. But so much has changed now with so much over the
Hmm.
years. I believe it's all been what you know here. As long as
Yeah.
you spend your time, put set aside
Yeah.
for what you believe in, Lord. And I
Yeah.
don't know, I
I
don't think
church
whoever
hop.
you worship or be all, I believe where you take it to the most high and you get that time with him sometimes. Definitely good to listen to the church sermon, but sometimes we don't even know who we listen to because sometimes when you see this stuff that the pastors are doing online, I don't even know if I can listen to you. Anytime you tell somebody bring their tax returns because they plan you, I don't know what we here for. Are we here for
Yeah.
money?
Yeah.
Or we here for we trying to really get people,
That's why I
faith
said
to get
it's good
things are a
to
little different now. Sometimes you gotta
learn.
watch out who leading you. And I can't have everybody leading me. It's like
Yeah.
I can't have everybody praying for me. I
Absolutely.
don't want anybody praying for me because I don't know what you're praying about. That's I don't need you got the boundaries,
Sometimes
you
you
gotta
might be
set.
praying for my downfall.
But
Yeah. So it's
I do
that's
believe
definitely
that
the truth.
faith and therapy can coexist. I no doubt about it. And this is just a part of our second segment coming to an end, healing, growth, and becoming. I appreciate each and every one of you who took time to get on here today. I am so blessed to be here to share, be in the spirit, great spirit with you all today. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else but with you guys today. And
Yeah.
again, this is a sad, a good and sad day for me. Like today is St. Patrick's Day, and I have my lucky charm baby that's 14, but tomorrow is my late daughter's birthday, and she would have been 20. So I am, going through having a little book, but hey, my faith is stronger than everything. And just the therapy, you guys are therapy, just showing up, speaking to other grieving
Yeah.
mothers is the therapy. That's how I done got through. Ain't no
Yeah.
church, it's the grieving mothers, the other ones, everybody else, all this. That's how we got through.
Yeah.
Everybody together. I got ain't no, but I am blessed, and I'm thankful for everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day again. Everybody, enjoy your St. Patrick's Day. Good luck. Go get your corned beef sandwich, some cabbage. Enjoy time with your family.
Yeah.
You got to have a little cocktail. I mean, I hope everybody just have a blessed day on purpose. Thank you guys again for tuning in to Purposeful Talk with Tab and Tameka. Hope to see you guys again. Have a blessed day. Bye.
Yeah. And thank you to Trivia,
Trivia.
Inspirational.
Thank you, Trivia. Yes,
Yes.
Trivia.
Every
Trivia.
week. Yes. She's been there
I
for
love
us.
Trivia. I love Trivia. Trivia.
Every week. We appreciate her. And yes, tune in next Tuesday at 10 a.m.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if y'all have
Right. If you want to be featured on here, let us know.
Yes.
Come on, maybe a dippy segment that we could bring anybody on. We talk about everything, just not about healing or everything. Again, it's Women's Month. Congratulations to all the women and all the powerful things you guys are doing. They couldn't do it without us. We make everybody. We the stronghold. I mean, nobody be here for the women. You know what I mean? Nobody.
Yes.
So we are grateful for that. Keep pushing every day, every second, every day, and God bless everybody. Again, have a great day. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yes, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Trivia's Inspirational Radio would like to inform you that the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in the following show are solely the sentiments of the participants of the show. Trivia's Inspirational Radio Network is not responsible for content. As always, thanks for watching and enjoy the show.